Hi, thanks for clicking and watching. I am going to cover our ancillary services as quickly as I possibly can because we are often asked about what they are, what they include. So let's start right at the top. 4 points and wind mitts. What are they? Your insurance company may require you get a 4-point inspection. In the old days, it used to be those 4 major components: your roof, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Some insurance companies now require a lot more, where those 4-point inspections resemble more of a full home inspection. So it depends on who your insurance carrier is, what they're going to require, but they may require you to get those. Back in the day, it used to be homes that are 20 years and older. Nowadays, we are doing them 10 years and older, or even younger, often. Wind mitigation. Your insurance company may require you to get a wind mitigation report. There are a list of things on an insurance form, and if you have some of those things, state law entitles you to some discounts on the wind portion of your insurance policy. We go through the list to try to determine if your home has some of these upgrades. The newer your roof, the higher the probability of you having some of the better installation, and which will get you more discounts. So I would definitely budget for both of those. Yes, they cost a little bit more, but often with a wind mitigation, your discount is applied every single year. So it's not just a one-time shot. Every single year you get that discount. So the inspections pay for themselves, and this is what you need to be doing during your due diligence time anyway. Pool inspections. We do pool inspections. Nobody does pool inspections like we do. All of our inspectors are certified advanced pool inspectors. But besides those, we have advanced pool inspections. The home you're buying, does it have a leak? You'd like to know that because many leaks are minor and very simple to repair, but some of them, depending on where those leak locations are, can be quite expensive. So I highly recommend that you do some kind of leak detection prior to closing on the house. We have an electronic machine that can measure water loss down to 1/10,000th of an inch. It's very inexpensive, and it can identify if the pool it is indeed losing some water. Okay, we can determine with the machine whether it's on the suction side, the pressure side, or it could be both. Okay, at that point you may want to have the seller do further investigation to find out where it is and how severe it is and fix it. If you'd like to go a little step further, there's what they call dye testing. We physically get in the pool water and we will dye test all penetrations of the pool and try to identify exactly where those leaks are coming. To get in the pool, yes, it costs a little bit more than the electronic version. But even after you do this and you live in the house, we still recommend periodically you have some leak detection done. The electronic stuff is pretty inexpensive and it's very quick. Now we also have what is called a bonding inspection. All metal components associated with the pool must be bonded together. Okay, in other words, if everything is touching, you eliminate the voltage gradient between components. Okay, it's a safety thing. You can visually identify some attachment points of visible places, but some of these attachment points are concealed. You also can, if you're doing visual only, you cannot prove if everything is bonded. There may be a break, there may be a discontinuation of that bond somewhere that is not accessible. The only way to prove that is to use, obviously, some advanced knowledge and some tools. We are equipped to be able to do that and prove that all proper bonding is in place. So that's a real good safety thing. Similar is what they call stray voltage, or NEV. Neutral to earth voltage. There may always be in the ground some stray voltage. This is just the nature of things. We have transformers, we have electrical devices and so forth, and there just exists some stuff. So, you know, some stray voltage. What you don't want is the voltage in the wrong place. Okay, you can have a wire could break. Or become loose and energize the pool water. Something else can go awry and energize other metal components. Again, with knowledge and tools, we can test all metal components associated with that pool, including the water and the light niche, the pool pump, a screen enclosure that's close, windows and door frames and things like that. All metal components associated with the pool, we can test for both of those. It's pretty inexpensive and a very nice safety inspection you'd probably want to consider, and maybe even do this periodically, because just because something's safe today doesn't mean it's next year or the year after that. I recommend those. One of our biggest up services, and I recommend every single homeowner and home buyer obtain a sewer scope. It's kind of like a colonoscopy for the house. Okay, we're literally running a camera down the sewer lines. Now, although it's impossible to inspect every linear inch, we do our best. Okay, we will enter vent stacks on the roof or exterior cleanouts if they're available, if we can get into them. The longer we do this, the more things we find, like bellies, root intrusion, other obstructions. I can't express to you how important I think it is that you have that sewer scope done. Okay, to discover it later on after you close, the expense is 100% yours, and there is no home inspector, there's no plumber that can tell you what the sewer lines look like without putting a camera down it. Now, we're going to save you a substantial amount of money over employing a plumbing contractor, even though that they may rescope it if we find an issue. But to repair sewer lines is typically a thousands game. It's not an inexpensive repair. So I highly recommend, for just a few $100, having a sewer scope done on every house that you do. Moisture intrusion investigations. This is one of my favorites that we've been doing for a very, very long time. We'll begin with our infrared cameras. Okay, all of us are at a minimum a certified residential thermographer, and we don't have cheap cameras. We have state-of-the-art, very good FLIR cameras. And we start with an interview. We do an infrared scan to try to find your source or sources of leaks. It can be more than one. Then we can take mold samples if needed. Okay, once we've done our investigation, we'll have a consultation with you and let you know what we have and see how we can help the best. Okay, if you've got a mold all over the wall, is it necessary to do mold sampling? Maybe, maybe not. The answer is always going to be the same. You need to remediate it. However, sometimes if you're experiencing health issues or you have health concerns, we can take samples. We take air samples and swab samples, and those are taken in every area that we do. We'll compare those with exterior conditions and look for amplifications in different molds. You'll get a report from the lab that tells you what you have, and then you can go from there to determine on what type of remediation, or if any, is required. We have advanced mechanical. We have several different levels of advanced mechanical. Besides the typical things that we do while we're there, which always exceeds what anybody else does in this industry, but we can take static pressures. We can do airflow tests. We have equipment and devices to do all this, including a hood. The hood is actually placed on all registers and can actually measure the CFM, or cubic feet per minute, coming out of those registers. So you know, everybody's had that hot room or that cold room. Well, it's probably an airflow problem. It most often is. And with the static pressure and the airflow hood, we can determine if there definitely is, and usually where it's coming from, and then you can have an HVAC professional repair. If you need to go even further than that, we have a licensed mechanical contractor, and we can place gauges and test the refrigerant levels and temperatures and pressures and document all those things for you. We are during the beginning of the COVID thing, we pivoted into a sanitization division, which has been very popular. We can quickly and very effectively sanitize a home. So if you're a seller and you're showing a home, and the agent would like to have an open house and you don't know who's been in there, how long they've been in there, what they've been touching and coughing on, we can sanitize the whole home prior to you moving back in. If you're moving into another home that you don't know who live there, what those kind of conditions are, not a bad idea. Have the whole place sanitized prior to move in. Then you know you're starting from a nice clean environment. All of those and more are found in our services booklet. Our services booklet, if you look at the very top of our website, there's a link for it. Click and you can have an electronic version of this booklet. So I hope that sums up everything for you and makes some sense. If you have further questions, please give us a call. Not a problem. We wish you much luck in your home buying process, and God bless.